And our second main topic today gets submitted to us by Colton M. And Colton M writes, John, a few weeks ago, I finished watching Dexter for the first time. I wasn't a fan of the ending, but overall, I absolutely loved it and have been very excited for this revival they're doing. Now my excitement has been raised. John Lithgow is going to be returning in a small role as the Trinity Killer. I know he'll likely be a figment of Dexter's imagination this time around for obvious reasons, but his performance in season 4 was one of the best aspects of the whole show, and this news is awesome. Your thoughts on Lithgow returning? All right, thanks a lot for sending that in, Colton. And yeah, listen, I am one of those guys that I was a little bit late to the Dexter party once it was on air. I started catching up with it when it was 2 or 3 seasons in, instantly fell in love with it. Fell in love with that show. I even liked the last season, although not the finale. I mean, I think the finale universally, everybody, yeah, the finale. Listen, man, it's hard to stick the landing on these TV shows. Most great shows have bad finales, but Dexter was one of those. But still, I was tremendously excited to hear that they were going to come back and do it again. And oh boy, when I heard Clancy Brown, the Kurgan, the sergeant guard at Shawshank Prison, the man himself was going to be coming in as the villain for this new season. I was very excited. But dude, when you talk to any Dexter fan, I would venture to say minimum 7 out of 10. If you ask them, what was your favorite season? I think at least 7 out of 10 of them will say, oh, the Trinity Killer season. The Trinity Killer season was the best one. And then this news comes out of nowhere that John Lithgow is going to be returning as the Trinity Killer. Now, of course, in the world of verisimilitude, Rob, Dexter kind of took care of the Trinity Killer in the show. So listen, obviously this is going to be like the same way that Harry would appear to Dexter and he would talk to the ghost of Harry. And we don't know that that was a real ghost. It was all in his imagination. It's probably going to be the same thing. Now, the reports go on to say Lithgow's probably only going to be shooting for 1 or 2 days. He's probably even only going to be shooting 1 or 2 days, which is fine. Just the fact that you're having him appear, I think is big because I love everything about this. I love that they're doing a revival season. I love the Clancy Brown edition. And just the fact that they're even just going to pepper in a Jonathan Lithgow, to me, is just top marks. And again, Lithgow actually won an Emmy that season. He won, I think it was his 4th or 5th Emmy that he won that season for that. But anyway, I think this is tremendously exciting news. Even if it's not going to be a big part of it, it's a nice touch. Rob, you hear about John Lithgow coming back for this new season of Dexter. What do you think about it?
John, I think it's pretty awesome. I mean, look, we can talk about how the ending of Dexter was not great, hence he's coming back. But I really like this show a lot. And the Trinity Killer scene, this season was a terrific season. They're also, by the way, John, releasing a very good-looking 6th scale figure of Dexter Morgan. Not Hot
Ooh.
Toys, but it looks pretty incredible. Along with the Patrick Bateman figure that's coming out from American Psycho. I'm going to be up to my ears in serial killer figures soon. But I think that this is great news, and I could see it like. Maybe it'll be a flashback to something that happened that we hadn't seen before. Maybe the Trinity Killer will show up in Dexter's subconscious and talk to him like his dad does, like James Remar does. Who knows? But I think whatever it is, it's going to be cool. And I think, I like that they realized the end of Dexter. Let's face it, John, it sucked. So I'm glad to see that they're going to remedy this situation. And, hey, if they can renew Good Omens 2 years after it debuted for a second season, now anything's possible. And I love that they're bringing back the Trinity Killer.
Let me throw in a quick little, speaking of Dexter, this really cool little Michael C. Hall story. So I think it was Gamer. I think that's what Michael C. Hall was in. I think it was Gamer. Let me just double check to see that I'm thinking of the right thing. Because I was driving across the country and my buddies, Mark Neveldine and Brian Taylor, invited me to stop in New Mexico where they were doing some shooting for a new movie they were doing, and it was Gamer. Yeah. So they invited me to stop off in New Mexico where they were shooting Gamer, and Michael C. Hall was in the film. Now, Michael C. Hall was not on set the day that I went and visited the set of the movie. He wasn't there on set, but I was talking to my buddies who were directing the film, and I said, I've got that this is back when I was still doing the movie blog. And there was a girl who was one of our writers on the movie blog, and her name was Serena. And she loved Dexter, like out of her mind, kind of loved Dexter. She was actually the one that turned me onto the show. And he wasn't there. And I was telling the guys, this girl who works for me, she just loves Michael C. Hall. And they're like, you want us to get Michael on the phone and give her a call? I'm like, would he do that? He goes, Michael's pretty cool. So we call up Michael on my phone. The guys call Michael on my phone, and he gets on, and I just say, oh, wow. I mean, would you mind if we, conference call in this girl that I work with? She would just die. He goes, yeah, man, do it. So we put her through, and she goes, hey, John. He goes, this isn't John. She goes, okay. I understand you like the show Dexter. I'm just curious if you recognize my voice. And she just pauses, dead silent. She goes, shut up. Hi, I'm Michael. And then he talks to her for a while. Dude totally didn't have to do that. He totally didn't have to do that, but he went out of his way, and he wasn't even on set. He was sitting at home, relaxing. We were disturbing his day, and he decided, you know what? By talking to this girl, I'm going to make this girl's day. Maybe make her month by just taking some time out to talk to her for a second, and he did. And because when celebrities do little things like that, I become a fan for life. I become an absolute fan for life. So that was really, really cool of him to do, even if Gamer didn't turn out to be the greatest movie. But I became an instant fan of his for life. Anyway, guys, the question is, John Lithgow, the Trinity Killer, is at least going to be making some kind of an appearance in the new season of Dexter, the revival of the series. What do you guys think? Maybe you think, well, it's not a big deal. It's a small role. Maybe you think, God, just seeing him even for a minute is going to be awesome. How do you feel about it? Jump down into the comment section below and let us know your thoughts. Okay, guys.